welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Suzanne, and I am a stay-at-home mom to 3 girls. I have a 17-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 7-month-old. I like to post videos related to lifestyle and motherhood. I also like to post cleaning videos and just anything that might be some helpful tips and tricks around the house. We have a home that is very nicely updated. When we purchased it, the people who owned it before us had come in and redid everything. There are still a few projects here and there that my husband and I want to tackle. The first thing we're going to start with is just something super easy. I thought it would be a fun project for our entryway. When you walk in, it's very plain. There's nothing. It's just plain white. I'll show you what it looked like before. And as you can see, it's just a bare wall. I had a couple things of just like little decorations, but I thought that it could look a little bit better, or not necessarily better, but I could just make it look a little bit fancier. I saw an idea on Pinterest for a board and batten. I just love the way that it looked. I thought that it added a lot of character. I wanted to add a little bit of color. Our house is white. The whole house is painted white. I love color, but I'm not ready to take the leap of painting the entire house a certain color. I thought I could paint the board and batten, and that would add just a teeny bit of color. But when you walk inside, there's a nice little burst of color, and then it just sort of goes into white throughout the rest of the house. That may change one day. For now, we all like the white, so I'm just going to keep it as it is. The color I chose for the painting of the board and batten is called Rain Washed. It's by Sherwin-Williams, and I love it because, as you'll see at the end of the video, depending on the time of day, it changes from a light blue to a sort of gray, green. It's a very versatile color. I've had it in my house before, and I just think it's so beautiful. It's also in my daughter Lucy's room on just one wall. This is by no means a tutorial. If you want a tutorial on how to do a board and batten wall, there are tons of really great videos online. I'll link a couple in the description of ones that I found that I thought were helpful or that kind of we used as a guideline. I'm just letting you know what we did. This project actually ended up being very cost effective, and the most expensive thing was the wood. We paid more, obviously. The price of wood and lumber right now is insane. If we had waited to do this project or done it a year ago, we probably wouldn't have ended up paying as much as we did. So it was about $60 total for the materials, not including stuff we already had. Just to run through my materials list with you, we have a 1x3x8 board, a 1x6 8-foot board, and we got 4 1x4 8-foot boards. We just used regular untreated wood. We already had some things on hand that you could use, like a nail gun and a saw, obviously, to cut the wood. I just let my husband decide what materials to use and what would be easy. Like I said, this is not a tutorial. This is just the process that we used and how it turned out for us. If you need a step-by-step tutorial, there are a ton of great resources online and on YouTube. A few more of the materials that we used for this project: a caulk and a caulk gun. So if you don't have those things, you might want to grab those. Some people have those laying around. We also did use a nail gun, but you can purchase hard as nails, the liquid nails. And we did grab some just in case we wanted to use that, but we ended up just using the nail gun because it was faster. You could grab some of that too and use that to glue your boards down as well. That's pretty much it for materials. If you want to use a different type of wood than what we used, I knew I was going to paint it, so I wasn't really worried about it being painted or anything, and obviously we're inside, so it was fine that it was untreated, but they do have a lot of options if you would like to get a different type of wood. I'm going to start off by cleaning the baseboards because they were especially dirty. When you have dogs and kids and just people coming in and out at the entryway, it accumulates dirt really quickly. And I cleaned the baseboards first, kind of wiped down the wall just a teeny bit, even though I knew I was going to paint it, so I wasn't that worried about it. My husband is in most of the video. His name is Bryn. He doesn't make appearances very often because he works for UPS. He works at night, and I usually film during the day. This video, he actually did this project for me before he had to lay down to go into work for the night. So he is an absolute rock star, and I am so thankful that he helped me out. I could not have done this without him, especially when it comes to the cuts and the measuring. He's just always spot on with that. I definitely let him do that, and then I just kind of fill in here and there. But I can paint. I was an art major for a little teeny bit in college, so I took over for that. I'll go ahead and get right into the video and let you watch and see what we did. Stay tuned at the end for the finished product. I'm in love with it. I think it turned out as exactly like I imagined, if not better than I imagined in my head. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll try to answer what I can, or ask my husband because he's the handyman. So I'll get him to answer it too if he needs to. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy the video. Right, like I said, we're going to go ahead and clean the baseboards first because they really needed it. I'm just using water and vinegar solution with some essential oil mixed in, and then just a microfiber cloth to get most of the dust bunnies and the dirt off. Now that the walls are completely clear, we're going to lay the bottom board first. You can take your baseboards off if you want and make that board the baseboard, if that makes sense. But I decided to just keep the baseboards because I didn't want to go through all the extra. It's just an accent wall more than anything. So we're going to nail the bottom board in first and then sandwich the outer boards in on either side. That way we'll know exactly how many we want to go across. And my husband is just measuring every so often to see where we want the inside boards to go. Just for reference, we used the 1x4s for the bottom baseboard as well as the vertical boards for the board and batten, and then the 1x6 is going to be the top board and the 1x3 is the ledge. So in case it gets a little confusing, that's what we're doing right now. Once those boards were nailed up, we went and added the larger one on top and then put the little ledge on top of that. We had to measure it and cut it to size first because they were a little long. For the boards that make up the actual board and batten in the insides, we just halved those, and that's how I came up with the height. There's no right and wrong. It's pretty much whatever height you would like it. You can cut those boards to fit it. I just didn't want to spend extra on additional wood, so we just bought the wood and cut each one in half to save some money. This is what it looks like without the ledge on top. I think it looks so nice, but I really like the ledge just to give it a little extra detail, and it's also handy if you want to put some pictures or something on it. You can do that as well.
I'm getting tired of sleeping. Think I've had enough. I've been gone, but haven't done much healing. It's pretty clear to me. Kinda strange how I can take a beating from my better self. It's like no one else even really scratches the surface. 'Cause nobody gets me.
Now it's time for the super fun part. Caulk and paint will make you what you ain't. So we're gonna go in and just fill in all the lines with some caulk. And it's easiest if you use a caulk gun, but you can just use the tube as well if you really needed to. This part is just not super tedious, but it's just important to make sure that you fill in all the gaps. That way it makes painting look nicer and it just brings it all together.
Against the wall, and I'm looking for your attention. wide awake and I'm just scared away for a better chance at a great romance, and I'm just not getting any braver. 'Cause nobody gets me. I'm looking for faith, looking for love in every direction. I'm looking for someone to show me the way when my map is torn up. Give me a light when my torch is blown out. Let me escape from my...
Now it's time to paint. The whole project took maybe a couple hours, and it really went super quickly. Once we had everything cut, it was pretty much just mailing it in. The paint color again is called Rain Wash by Sherwin-Williams. It's so pretty. You can see in this lighting it was raining when I sat down to paint, so it was overcast outside and the color looks a little bit more of a gray green, but when the sun shines on it later, it's almost like a light blue. It's so pretty. I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a nice, soothing, serene, blue-green color. It's just so pretty. I always got compliments on it when I used it in the past, so definitely recommend.
Don't you look at that? I said, my friend, what you looking at? I think she is something for me. Excuse me, miss, it's my first time here. Maybe you could show me out of here. I think she got something indie. So please forgive my rudeness if I'm tripping over your time. But you look so amazing. And we can be so much more.
This is the finished product once the painting was done. I think it adds so much warmth to the entryway and so much character. I put in these hooks that I already had bought from before, and I just reused them in the wall, and I think that they make it look even nicer, and it's just a great place. You can't hang anything too heavy. They're not really strong, but you can put little things there. Again, you can put decor up on the ledge, which is really fun, and switch it out or whatever you'd like to do. I just had some things laying around the house that I put up there, and I reused my sign.
And we get on together, and we can be so much more than who we are, so much more than who we are.
I am just in love with how this project turned out. It was not very expensive, especially if you have a lot of the stuff on hand. You can use that and save even more money. The most expensive thing is going to be the wood because of the price of wood right now. It probably would have cost even less had we done this at a different time. However, I think it was worth the money. It makes a huge impact in our entryway, and I cannot get over how it turned out. I constantly stop and stare at it. Thank you again so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe if you're interested in more motherhood content, cleaning. I will do a few DIYs. I'll put up a house tour soon, and you'll see a lot of our house is already done so beautifully. When we purchased it, we got very lucky, and the previous owners did such an amazing job with the updates and everything that they put into it. So we won't have a ton of DIY projects. I will have a porch clean out coming soon, and you'll see the finished product for that. I'm so excited. We're building a backyard bar and a sand pit. It's just gonna look amazing. We're almost done with that, and I will be posting that soon, as well as just more cleaning videos, anything to help you be inspired and hopefully motivated to do anything that you might need to around your house. If you're interested, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.